You're listening to Open for Discussion, where, man, y'all probably shouldn't have said that. It tends to happen. Let's start the show.
758 East Music Group.
You're listening to Open for Discussion, and this is part 2, as promised. Got all the wives in the studio, and the conversation continues. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for listening in.
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback off what Brian said, that it's very important for us to, as parents, whether you're a single parent or you have both parents involved in the family, that we're intentional in actually spending time with your kids. It's very important that it's very important that you intentionally schedule time in your schedule to spend time with your kids, whether it's, like Wayne said, with sports or, whatever activity they do at school, you go and support them, or even outside of, the 9-to-5 day and the day-to-day of all the school stuff. It's very important that you actually take the time to spend time with your kids, take them to Disney, or have a movie night in the house and eat pizza and have that open discussion where they can feel comfortable and talk to parents. Oh, how was your day? Oh, what happened? What that girl said? It's things like that. And then we don't like. To us, it looks like our kids may not pay attention to us, but actually they pay attention. Are my parents there? When they look out in the crowd, do I see mommy and daddy? Or do I see at least one parent that's supporting me? Mm-hmm. Or the single parent? Or do I see my parent? Or, if you send a family member, is any family out there, supporting me? Or just, intimately, oh, mommy and daddy, are you listening to me? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because, when they find out that you're not listening, they tune you out. And that's when they go to, another source, or, another person that, that we may not deem as a good person that's giving them feedback.
Terrible
right?
source.
But it's very important that we, we surround our kids in a good environment in our home. And then also, even outside of our home, people that you're comfortable with that, if your kids may not feel comfortable bring up something to you, you feel comfortable bringing them something to, London can talk to auntie, okay? Yeah, London, go talk to auntie. But I know in my head, auntie going to come to me and tell me everything that you just talked about. So it's like having that support system outside of your family is very important. And then just being there for your kids because, they love it.
Yeah, I was going to mention like something that I personally do since I pick up the kids from school. Like I intentionally ask them, how was your day? Even at Paris' age, even though she don't, like she gives me her same answer at the same time, I say, Paris, how was your day today? Good. It was good today? Good. I was like, did you color? And, I go through like, I know their schedule. Did you go outside today? Yes. So, but I'm programming her. So I'm going to ask you, how was your day? What did you do? And I do the same thing with Aiden. So it's just something I, incorporated in.
Right, that's important. I do the same exact thing and have been. And as they grow older, what I've been doing is encouraging them to speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
How was your day? Good. Good means nothing to me. What does that mean?
Exactly.
Explain your day. What did you do? How did you enjoy things? But on another point, I think with communication, one thing is educating. The way we grew up was some of us were taught. Some of us learned by others. My parents did not really talk to me. They kind of did it on the sly a little bit. Did that happen? You better not be doing... But I wasn't taught anything. So I think what's important is we need to, from a very young age, start teaching the kids because they are being taught every day. We think they are not being exposed at these young, early age to different things or... just having knowledge of things that normally we would not have learned until we were older, they already know about it. They already heard about it, but they're confused. They're confused because they don't know what it means. They don't know anything about it, where they heard it from. So it's important that we take our time not only to communicate with them, make sure that the channels are open and that they are comfortable with communicating on a regular, consistent basis and they won't shut down, but to educate. And that's one thing that, we're learning is that at first you think there's a certain time that you're supposed to talk to kids about certain things.
Not now.
No, it's not. The sooner the better to educate them because what they hear first, we all know, is truth to them. And that's what they're going to stand by regardless. I mean, it's the hardest thing for me to try to teach Des something that she's already heard from somebody else. And so when I counter that, she's like, no, Mom, no, that's not. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's my fault because I haven't taken the time to teach her those things prior to her hearing it from somewhere else.
Right.
So, that's vitally important.
Yes.
Well, just to go off of what you were saying, as far as being, the seeing stuff every day, I can give you a small situation where it's stuff that's actually supposed to be innocent, where I won't disclose anyone's names, but a child was, on YouTube looking at dance videos. It was just choreography videos of trying to figure out, put a little dance together, and it was in, it's in child mode, so it had the parameters on there, but just from going from a dance video on how to do a routine, next thing you know, you got a twerk video.
Yep.
And then now that child has clicked on the twerk video because it's a group of girls dancing, and then that twerk video turns into twerking in the shower, and then twerking in a thong bikini. So now you got this, 8, 9, 10-year-old girl being exposed to, this is how we're supposed to dance. So that's why, everything that we're saying is so important, and it's so true that your kids are being exposed to way more than you ever, I can tell you as a guy, I was exposed to, stuff back in the days, from uncles or older friends and stuff. But this is just paper. These were magazines or stuff like that. They're getting full-on action.
Well, there was some videos.
You know what I'm saying? We had the VCR, but you had to literally, you had to go in there, put the tape in, be like, ain't nobody here, then you got to watch it. These kids now, everybody has a phone or a tablet. They just
more access.
Here it goes.
Right.
But
a lot of it too is because they're curious. It's not that they're trying to do anything what they feel is bad or they shouldn't be doing it. It's just curious because when they stumble upon these different things, it's like, oh, what was that? Why did they do that?
Yeah.
Well, but then you keep clicking.
Yeah.
And
that's I don't care how many parameters are set. It really doesn't matter. It picks up a trend and it starts providing whatever the trend is that you've been doing. So, it's just important to educate them to take away that curiosity. Because once they know what it is, like, oh, that ain't nothing. I don't have to worry about that. I know what that is because my mama told me or my daddy told me, so that makes the difference.
Before anybody make another comment, I do want to say, my wife was talking about, everyone has been talking about creating basically a village around your child to help them and bring up. And I want to say thank you to all of the ladies in here because our little girl, had her woman situation happen. And I just want to say thank you to all of you because my wife had a great idea where instead of it being a taboo thing, like, my sisters probably went through where just like, girl, that's just part of life. And, but, she made it a celebration, basically a celebration into a new chapter in your life. And I definitely want to say thank you.
Which I'm still in, by the way.
Yeah, we all still
Consider
in.
it
That's
Debo.
a great idea.
Thank you.
You'll be at London's, you'll be at Paris, you'll be at Olivia's, you'll be at Torres. Yeah, you'll be at all of them.
When did this turn
a
into
great
a woman
idea.
podcast?
Yeah, but it's okay though. I mean, because that it actually ties into everything that we're
That's what we
talking
do.
about communicating and having that environment that your kids need to have a source of a person to go to outside. So what I was able to do was show her, these are your people. This is a comfortable environment. This is something that is not unusual. It's normal. So don't feel afraid to talk about it. So it's just encouraging communication all around.
Yes.
Let me know the point again because I was out of the room. So what's the main question so I can be prepared to answer?
There is no actual main question. It's just an overall, we're just discussing...
Open discussion.
We're just trying to, just basically speaking on how to help your child navigate through all of the crazy, stuff that's going on in the world, the internet, social media, and all of those things. Just what are some of the parameters that you and Brian have put in place, because you're gonna have to face that situation, and you're gonna have to be prepared. And that's kind of what everybody was discussing, and that's kind of how you're saying, we had the village, and making sure that they have someone that they can talk to, communication, and just in general.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. With us, of course, it's still a growing process. Being parents, you're still learning. Of course, we have young children, so we're still figuring things out. I know with Victoria, of course, we gave her, the iPad to view her videos. And at first, you don't think about it. You just put it on a cartoon, and we just let her go.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, well, then she would find a way to get to another video and then another video. Mm-hmm. So that's when we realized, wow, like we have to really pay attention now. Like,
you
didn't think you had to, but like now they know to touch stuff. And so it really opened our eyes like, okay, I have to keep watching it. If you're like a few feet away, let me just take a peek, see what you're on right now. So that's definitely something that we had to realize, okay, we really do got to pay attention. Being first time parents, like this stuff is real. You hear about it in the world, but now you have a child to protect. Right. So it's definitely something that we had to do. We do the same thing that Kim and Adrian does. We ask them every day, how's your day?
Mm-hmm.
I do it too, but
my bad, girl.
I just didn't say that.
What a jerk.
That's right. I am not a bad mother, okay? I do ask my kids questions every day after school.
Yeah, so the ladies in the room
aren't doing their job.
We do make sure to ask them how their day was. We sit down. We try to have dinner with each other every night at the table. Like, okay, how was your day? Each person goes. Even if we don't start, Victoria will start. She'll say, "So, Mom, how's your day?" She'll start on her own.
Right.
She'll ask Olivia. Of course, Olivia will say, "Good."
Yeah.
Did you go outside today, Livy? Yes. Who knows if she knows what's going on? But
right.
It's just getting her to know,
getting
to communicate. Yeah. So that's been really good. I'm happy that she's doing that on her own. She'll ask us how our day was. How was work?
Right.
What do we do at work? So we feel it's like teaching her, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Cool. Now, speaking on the tablet part, I have a question to the room because some of us are really, really techie, and we're in a realm where it's not seen as something that's it's not seen in a negative light. Some of us do see, tablets and things in a negative light. So my question is, how do we get away from allowing the tablet to be a babysitter? Because where we are now, we're all moving. Everybody's doing something. We're all on the go. And I feel like I'm not a millennial, but I think you guys are millennials, but this generation that we're in now, of us growing up now, it's been so much easier to hand our kids a tablet and say, watch this. And, and whereas, when we grew up, we didn't have that. Your mama said, sit your behind down somewhere. Oh. And, or your dad said, hey, boy, you better go do something, better go draw or create something.
Do something.
And so now it's just like, how do we pull back? How do we draw back? And I know some of you guys with younger kids, you found that it's easier, especially it's a lot easier when you're trying to do something, just give the kids a tablet. Or like for me and my wife, when we travel and we're driving in the car and we know we got to go more than 2 hours, man, give them a movie. They got to do something. Where again, when we were growing up, all of us growing up, we didn't have that. Mm-hmm. But we were able to, get to where we are now. So again, my question is just how do we get ourselves to that point to where we can start drawing back from that to where our kids aren't so used to having a tablet in their face to keep them controlled?
I think it's I think it's not that the tablet is controlling them. We just need to understand what the use of the tablet is for. So when we went on road trips when we were growing up, like you mentioned, we all had something to keep us quiet. right, to keep us at bay or keep us entertained because our parents weren't consistently entertaining us. Yes, they did talk to us and have conversation, but they weren't going to play every single game with us.
We had I Spy.
You know what I mean? So whatever,
Boy.
you know what I mean?
That's my call.
All right. So we had those different tools to be able to keep a child's brain stimulated, right? A child moving like this, we want to be able to stimulate that growth. So I think that's a good use of the tablet. But like you said, Al, it's not a babysitter. And the second thing that it's not is it's not an excuse not to parent, right? Your tablet should not be raising your child. The things that the tablet does, they can have fun, they can play games, but there are still different aspects of parenting. Like we started doing with Nolan, we're going to be doing it all summer, is really focusing on his ability to focus. Like when he's on the tablet, he's super focused. Right. When he's not, he just is as wild as they want to be. So we need to, recognizing that as a parent, it's like, how do we hone in your focus outside of the tablet?
Yeah.
And how do we develop you in these different areas? So we're going to put him in sports this summer. We're going to put him in, swimming. We're going to make sure that he is active, but then he's also has that ability to, for lack of a better phrase, sit down somewhere. Like,
right.
Sit down and actually focus on this one task. I'm not trying to limit your creativity, but you can't solve every single problem at one time. I can't be halfway doing this, halfway doing this. So you got to be able to hone in and focus. So that's what we see that as a result of him using the tablet, right? So we see how he is on the tablet. It's like, okay, you can call his name 50 times. He's not going to hear you when he's on the tablet. When he's off
He's a grown up.
you know what I mean? He'll be off the walls and he'll be, but okay, let's take that energy, let's put it in one area. So that's where our parenting comes in. But we can't use the tablet to help him focus because we're not going to focus.
And that's that was kind of my point. Definitely don't anybody think that I was taking shots. It's just that's where we are. That's where we are as parents right now, is that, okay, I'll give my kid this tablet because that'll calm him down. But like you just said, what do you do when the tablet's gone? Say the tablet, the battery dies when we're out in public somewhere. Is it that point to where we just be like, oh man, bump it? He just gonna have to do what he want to do. So that's why I was saying, how do we get? Yeah, oh man, my battery low, but just take it.
Take the phone.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say we as people, we need to figure out a way to get ahead of this before it gets to that point to where it's like, okay, we don't know what to do. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. Just like I said, just to get it, get the dialogue going.
Yeah, I think also it's the content you expose them to. I think as they get older, you can kind of curate some content. The apps they use, the things they're exposed to try to direct them in a path. Like if notice they're really good with, if they're artistic, then you start to put more artistic apps on there. If they're and the list can go on, and you try to cultivate them through the use of technology, because I think there's no way to avoid that. I don't think there's a way of dialing it back. I think it's just being more intentional with it. And then also, to your point, like, okay, this is tablet time, but then like what we do with Aiden, outside of tablet time, he does puzzles. He loves puzzles, so we put him on puzzles. He loves to draw now.
Additional stimulation,
right? So
that's
I think for us, like for me, I think I spent too much time playing video games, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't want that to happen. So I agree. I think dialing them back off of it, but finding other stimuli to keep them engaged. That way, because I think they have to be engaged. I think free, just, like some summers I would just sit there, I had nothing to do.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And that's when you go start putting firecrackers on the slugs and just do stupid stuff.
Just blowing up frogs for no reason.
Again, that's another sign. People put firecrackers and slugs. You might want to watch that.
Slugs and frogs don't count, man. When you start killing mammals.
Well, where do you think it starts, man? It starts with slugs.
No, but yeah. So it's keeping them stimulated. And I think, like I said, it's curating the content. It's like, okay, they're going to be on there. I think there's no way to really avoid, them on the tablets. I mean, if you want your kid to be privy to technology, you need to have them in that conversation. But okay, what are they looking at? You know, how much time are they spending on YouTube? And if they're on YouTube, what are they watching?
That's like I said, man, from the earlier point. That's a dangerous thing, man. Because like I said, it starts with innocence, and then the algorithm just keeps going.
Yeah, and there's technology out there. And I think what we can do is we can share a link to the listeners. But there's technology of different apps and the technology is just going to get better. Where you can get notice. You get notice to your phone when your kid goes to a certain area in their device. So the technology for monitoring is getting better. So I think we're going to be okay. But like Wayne said, you can't leave parenting. Like, you still got to parent. Like, there's no default. Okay, just let them do whatever he wants. So
that was just to piggyback off of what he said. Like, I'm sorry. Oh, just to piggyback, a major thing is like just finding the balance, between it all. Like, they could be on their tablets, but like you said, like, Aiden loves puzzles, so we get him.
I like to draw now.
Yeah, puzzles, and we're finding out that he has an artistic side, which is coming, from my side, Child, stick figure, No, he has an artistic side, and he also likes the color, which he gets from Cleet, being artistic, and Parrish just being the younger sibling. She wants to do everything Aiden does, so that helps with like her trying to do puzzles or her wanting to color too. So we print them out coloring sheets, and they just sit there and just color, So it's just finding that balance of like, what's weird?
Sitting down color.
Coloring?
Hey, man, that's what I did.
Coloring is fun.
Oh yeah, well.
If
Don't
you were
listen
a
to him,
good
he's
colorer,
whack.
were you a good colorer?
Wayne can't color.
Okay.
How did your coloring pages look when you're? Have you seen his handwriting? They were like,
My coloring looks just like my son's. Thank you very much.
as a grown man.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
It is what it is.
All right, man.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you admitting that.
But I was going to say, like, for example, Nolan doesn't have an artistic side. He don't care for coloring, but Nolan loves technology. Yeah. And I've noticed that early. Like, he loves technology.
He's good with the games, by
and
the way.
He's good at figuring out how a program works, how I can do this within the iPad. Like, he actually figured out how to download apps. So now that he's
Thanks
figured
to
out,
Uncle Cleet.
I remember that.
No, babe. No, it's not from.
No, I didn't teach him. No, this is really good. He learned, he saw what I did and went and figured it out himself.
Good.
He's gonna be like an engineer or something.
So he might
good,
be
dude.
like a engineer.
Hey,
so
it's time to hone in on that.
So like from
bro.
my perspective, I kind of like me. I like to watch him actually interact on the iPad because I can kind of see how his mind works. But then also, Nolan's the type of kid. He's like, I'm not artistic. I'm not gonna sit down and do no things like sit at the table. He's an outside person. Yeah. So like getting Nolan outside of the house, because on the way here he was like, "Mommy, you never take me to the beach." Well, honestly, we took you to the beach. Oh, you never take me to the zoo.
Never
he loves interaction with other people, seeing other people, seeing other things, being out. I don't want to be in the house. I want to play sports. Like he's a strong extrovert, and so is his sister, London. London, she's not so more of like the phone person, like being on the tablet. No, London, she'll entertain it for like a little bit, and she'll be like, she'll throw it away, and then she's running around like she's another extrovert. I want to dance, I want to sing, mommy. I want to,
sounds like a mom.
Yeah.
Wait, and side note, I want to go back to Nolan. Didn't y'all say like on one times or several times y'all like hid an app or something on his iPad?
Oh yes,
he ended up finding it.
We kept hiding these two apps, and then we get back the iPad, and then he just kept. We just watching him. He just
I gotta code
and then he found it.
Yeah.
We deleted it completely. He just kept finding it. We was like, this kid, like, this is crazy. And so, like, even for me, like, Nolan would sit and watch me on my phone. I do puzzles all the time. And he'll do, like, my puzzles. So I give him, and I'll let him figure out my puzzles that I do. And I always do puzzles. So it gives me an insight of how his mind works. So, like...
Boy, I tell you.
Wait, just have a...
Jeez.
So, like, I kind of understand, like, Nolan, his mind kind of works like mine. Like, how we think, how we act. And me, I'm an outside person. I love to be outside. I love to do other things, and then
On the
and
way here.
and his focus, he's just like me. I was that kid. I fell asleep because you boring me, and I was never attentive, and you can never keep my focus. Hence why in high school they was like, "Do I have a sleeping disorder?" I don't have a sleeping disorder. I'm just not this subject is not entertaining me.
Quick
It was
story.
more-
Got mom
Quick story to
narcolepsy.
that. Sabrina was in high school, and I believe it was like her English class. She slept so much in that class that the teacher wrote a note for her to take home to my parents to say, does Sabrina have a sleeping problem? I mean, but she get an A in the class, but she just sleeps. I just thought that was
is
funny.
ridiculous.
Wow.
So,
because they were popular kids, but
but yeah, so
Another
it's
story.
just interesting to see how his mind works. Like his mind works like mine. Like you teach me a lesson, okay, I got it. I go home, I do my homework, and then I take a test and be like, oh my gosh, how you get such a high grade? Well, I did my work.
Yeah.
Obviously I was paying attention to class, but I did my work.
Yeah.
I studied the lesson and whatever, and that's like how Nolan is.
yeah,
Like,
I think some of the and you bring out some good points. I think back to the conversation about being a village. Like my kids more. If I'm the kind of parent that's more privy to art, and then we have another parent that's more privy to sports. One thing I've been recently thinking about is tapping into that instead of me trying to adapt and become that person that's like, oh, Uncle Al is really good with sports. So, hey, on Saturdays, if you're taking your kids to go play this, to play this sport, let my kid tag along. I'll come along with you all. And I think that becomes a way to get them that stimuli, because it's like, okay, I want you to do this other thing. It's not my natural proclivity to do this other thing.
I hear you bringing out the words for friends. Proclivity.
Definition.
Also, recognize that Cleet just said he's not very good at sports, so that's what he just.
We respect
Well,
that.
I know,
man.
wow.
That's what he just.
I respect that,
but
man.
he knows people who are good at
That-
sports.
that's
Don't
fine.
do
That's
it.
fine.
Know your lane. Know your lane. Know your lane.
Hold on,
That's
first of all,
it.
Wait, this coming from somebody who thinks he's the best.
No, that's what he said. If I don't have a natural proclivity to sports, I'm gonna go to Uncle Al. That's what he said.
the difference between I'm good at sports. Okay, I can hold my own.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
let's don't put it to the test. What's up? Anyway, but what I'm
Strain
saying,
every muscle in his body.
I'm selling wolf tickets right now.
Pull my back. How'd you do that, Cleet?
Well, get the kid out the tub.
But you know what I'm saying. I did that actually.
I know. That's what we're talking about. You were trying to get Aiden
Well,
out the tub
I
or
was
something.
bathing him. I was reaching.
My back.
Wow, you gotta stretch, bro. You gotta stretch.
It's the big one.
If you don't work out, at least do some yoga. Stretching.
So no, but yeah, that's the truth. It's just really because that's going to help. Like Brian was talking about earlier, you have those parents where your intentions, like I want them to be in sports, I want them
Yeah.
to do this, but it's just so hard for you to do it because you're so used to doing this other thing. So it's like, okay, well, hey, listen, instead of me trying to become that person, let me connect them with that person, And now you get your kid to have that balance, They get the tech side. Oh, if you want tech stuff, go see Uncle Clee. If you want, this stuff, go see this uncle, that auntie, whatever.
That's it, man.
Yeah, that's true. Because for us, we're not on the techie side.
Not at all.
So
Oh, we know.
yes, but the thing
Watch
is,
your mouth.
but it also
Watch your mouth.
Like he was saying, the majority of you guys are millennials, so you kind of came up in the internet age. We didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't have it.
We
so
had College
we're not,
Club.
We had what?
College Club.
We're
Black Planet.
Oh God.
I was on Black Planet.
They didn't play with
MySpace.
technology, but they was playing with people.
K Caramel 22.
Yeah. Disgusting.
That was your name.
K Caramel 22.
Who are you talking to?
Hey, I used to be up in them chat rooms.
Terrible.
We all were.
No, we didn't come up that way. So our kids, particularly, the tablet thing wasn't a problem because we didn't expose them to it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they finally got one. What, they had one for now, 2-3 years? 2 years?
And it's
So,
been
but the
taken
thing
away for
is,
about 3 months.
they haven't had it for 6 months because I took it away. But like you're saying, to be able to have someone else to expose them to different things, our kids are more outgoing,
Or
more
to expose
extroverts,
us to
more
stuff.
sport. Like activity driven, not necessarily, tablet. So they haven't experienced, I guess, that focus on working on a tablet and not being able to be focused on something different other than just the tablet. And what I've noticed as well from the standpoint of transitioning, like you all were saying, it's good to start transitioning them from the focus of primarily a tablet to how do you focus in an environment where you're not getting that type of stimuli. Because when they go to school, it's not there. It's not there the way that we are able to provide it to them at home,
Right.
which then creates another problem because the teacher wants to send home a note every day. Your child can't focus. Well, it's not that they can't focus. It's just that they're accustomed to a different form of learning that you're not introducing them to.
Right.
So I think, everything in moderation, it helps.
Yep.
We have to expose them to technology and different things. And like you're saying about Nolan, there's so many things out there that now you can get him engaged in, even at his age, to start learning engineering.
Yeah, I'm about to start him
Coding.
with programming. Mhm.
Yes, programming, all of
programming.
that. Starting
Programming
now because he has an
Programming apps.
interest in it before he kind of, grows up and be like, I don't want to do that anymore. But yeah, everything in moderation is good. And then, having everybody exposed to the different things. Everybody has different gifts and talents and areas. Like Cleta may not be sports, but it's technology. And you can send him over
Shade.
Wow.
wow. over your way.
Well, my brother would be loving this right now. Wow.
That was another time in your life.
It's all right. It's all right.
Well, for me and Brian, of course, we have a balance because I'm the homebody type of person, so I could just be home in my little
Yes,
bubble.
you hate the sun.
I do not hate the sun.
How you from Haiti and hate the sun?
I don't like being hot. I just don't hate the sun. I don't like being hot.
Amen.
Come on.
But you have your AC on 80.
No, it's not.
Listen,
78.
Lord have mercy.
I watched
Maybe
the
76.
Floyd Mayweather fight at
You should be
Brian's house,
convicted. That's
and
78.
I ended up sweating out all of my clothes. We sat on leather couches, and I was just sweating there. I had to keep wiping the couch. I
It wasn't
I
that
felt so
hot. It
disgusting.
wasn't that hot. It wasn't that hot. Maybe 74. But maybe 74.
That's at nighttime.
Brian, he's definitely going outside, of course, raised in the country and that whole type of thing. They didn't stay in the house. They was, his parents made him go outside, that whole type of thing.
Yeah.
So Victoria, she's more wanting to go outside. As she was younger, she's still young, she's only 5, but she was into the iPad. Now I see her slowly not really caring about the iPad. So now she wants to be outside. She wants to go do stuff. Right now she wants to do gymnastics. So we're looking into that for her.
Awesome.
Let us
so-
know, please.
Cody was-
So she's definitely interested in being active. So that's where we are right now. But before, she was on the iPad. She was watching movies on the iPad, playing games. And then we're like, okay, now you're doing it too much. So now we did some educational stuff, transitioned to that. And now she doesn't really care for it. So, which we're cool with.
Yeah, I ain't got no problems with that at all. Overall, again, I would say, like everyone was saying here, nowadays, man, you have to have a great supporting cast. That's the same thing in sports. That's the same thing in a job. It's the same thing in a business. Your home life is a business, and you should run it as such. And the only way to succeed in life is to always have a great supporting cast around you. And those are the people you should surround yourself with. People who are like-minded, who have the same type of goals, or goals that outweigh your goals, so they can either pull you up.
Right. Aim high.
What was the saying? Friends can do one or two things. They can pull you up, or what is it, like an elevator or something like that.
Hold on. I don't know.
The ladder? The ladder one?
I think it was something like where
Never heard
it's
of
Can't help you, bro.
It's all right. It's all right. It was like people. I think the quote is like people are like elevators. They either take you up or they take you down.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the point with that being is that surround yourself with positive people who that your child can. Like I was saying with the whole situation with my daughter and her transition, everybody that my wife brought into her life, she knows that she can go talk to them in confidence, but also knowing that person that she talked to in confidence is going to tell us, and if they don't, we're going to have some major issues. But that's basically the overall point of just surround yourself with the right folks. Parent, don't just allow the tablet to be what your child knows and what your child respects. Because in the end, you're going to end up very upset at yourself, and either you or your child going to end up being a news story, and it's not going to be a positive one. I want to say thank you to the wonderful, wonderful co-host today, Miss Merlandi, my beautiful wife, Adrian, Bree, Queen Bree, that is.
Yeah.
She had to get one in. And, of course,
DJ
Kim. DJ Kim.
All right. All right.
And from myself, Cleek the Geek, Diddy Rowe, a.k.a. Brian. I'm going to call him by his government name. He had to keep stepping out today, but we ain't going to say nothing about it. And, of course, my main man, G-Dub. I want to say thank you, and we out.